Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back for part 2, the continuation. We made it to Thunder Bay. We got in a little bit late, so we ended up staying in a motel for one night. And when we left in the morning, we stopped at, I believe it was Adventure Outdoors. And the people there were very friendly. We asked them if they knew of any Crownland camping in the area, and they gave us directions exactly how to get here. And they said, it may be busy, but if you put your canoe in the water, there's a few islands down the way, and you should be able to find a spot there. We took a short little ride in the canoe. We found this island. We went back for the gear. We're going to be here for a few days. So let's unpack the gear and get set up for the weekend. So now we're on the island. We've brought all our gear up here and in the shade. There's a nice little fire pit right here. As you can see, once again, we've cleaned up after other people. We're gonna have to pick that up and deal with it. But then if we walk up here, there's a beautiful cross breeze. I'm gonna have to remove that stump. And this one tiny little dead tree. And I'm gonna go from that tree right there over to this tree here. And from this tree over to this tree. And then from our hammocks, anywhere we look, you can see the water. We're doing the 3-tree thing again. I was going to put a post here, but then Anne noticed I could tie my ridgeline out to that tree, and it's holding my tarp out taut. Her ridgeline, I tied it out to my ridgeline, and I used a prusik loop and tightened it up. So now we've got a nice awning here. They're not calling for rain for the next 5 or 6 days. We're not supposed to rain until Thursday. Well, we're planning on leaving either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're playing it by ear. So we can leave it this way. And if something happens, it starts to rain too much and I have to take them down, I can always just bring the 2 ends down and pin them down, and we're still covered. But this way, we got a nice breeze coming through, and if it's just a light drizzle, this will stop a light drizzle. We can set up our chairs under here and just push on the tarps once in a while to get rid of the water. Now, I gotta go fix the fire pit. I showed you how much garbage was in the fire pit and cleaned it all up. So that's all bagged and ready to haul out. There was a few logs behind me, and Anne found a few branches, so she weaved them in to build a little more of a windbreak back there. And there's people camped on shore way at the other end, so that just kind of gives us a bit more privacy. But there was a few rocks kicking around down by shore, So we carried them up, and I built up the fire pit and made it just a tiny bit bigger. So now we're going to have a great fire pit for a few days. Nice and safe. We've got a bucket of water. I'm going to douse everything around it before we light the fire. And then we'll be good to go. So here's our view right from where we put in the canoe. And right about there, you see that little white dot? That's a trailer. And then over there, I don't know if you can see it, but there's an orange tarp there. Somebody's camping in a tent. But when we pulled in, that whole lot over there is a big open field, and there was a trailer set up, and there's a tent set up, and then towards the other end there was 2 other tent setups. So we decided to throw the canoe in, paddle around, and see what we could find. And 2 little islands in, and we found this beautiful spot. We're still in the process of putting away our gear, setting up. But it should be a beautiful place. They're not calling for rain for the next few days, so I don't plan on putting up a kitchen tarp. But if it does start to rain, I've got a nice clear area over there, right behind where Anne is sitting. I can hang a tarp in there, we can pull the chairs underneath, then we'll be laughing. A couple of videos back, we had found a rope and I had tied it to the bucket to retrieve water, and we decided to leave it there. And as you can see, Anne's using it now and it works beautifully. So now, Anne cleared some of the grass and stuff that was around the fire pit, and she's soaking the ground around the fire pit just to make it a little safer so that we don't worry about the fire spreading too much. Just as an extra safety precaution. I mean, we're out on an island. If something happens, we're not getting help anytime soon. We've got everything set up. I got a little bit of firewood. We got the fire going for tonight. I'll have to cut more firewood tomorrow. But we're going to kick back, relax a little bit. Have a beer. I'm having a Cameron's Amber Red Ale. Anne's drinking a Bone Shaker.
Hello.
Unfiltered India Pale Ale. Oh, you may hear a little bit of traffic noise. We're about 25-30 minutes outside of Thunder Bay on Highway 527. Like I said earlier, we had stopped at the store and they had told us about this place. Unbelievably friendly in there. Fantastic crowd. Tons of gear. It's a great little store.
Yep.
But very friendly. They gave us some good advice. They sent us directly to this spot.
So we're going to hang around for 4 days?
Yeah, about that. About 4 days. Be here for about 4 days and enjoy the peace with the odd highway noise going by, but it's not a very heavy.
It's not bad.
It's not a very heavily traveled highway, so it's not bad. We hear a car every once in a while. During the day, who cares? There's so much going on. We'll be in the canoe, we'll be paddling around,
Fishing.
doing a bit of fishing, hopefully eating a bit of fish. We had some canoers go by a while ago and I was talking to them, and apparently there's perch and pike here. But we're going to sit and enjoy the fire. Think about not having to drive anywhere for the next few days.
High five to that. Yep.
Yeah. We can paddle around, but at least we don't have to sit cooped up in the car for a few hours. Morning, everyone. First cup of the day. Oh, this is going to be good. We sat by the fire for a while last night. There was enough wind to keep the mosquitoes at bay. There was none. Okay, move up a little bit. Get out of that smoke. Yeah, so there was no mosquitoes last night. Woke up this morning to the sound of buzzing all around the tent. They were wild. That's why I lit the fire. Just to try and cause a bit of smoke and get rid of some of them. They've died down now. It's not bad. The fog rolled in last night. It was so thick, it was unbelievable. You couldn't see 2 feet off the island. So the plan today is, I think I'm going to put up that tarp. And at some point we want to hop in the canoe. And we got to go back to the car. We forgot a couple of minor things. But while we're out on the water, we want to paddle around the island and see what it looks like from the water. I decided to hop in the canoe and paddle back to the car. We forgot a few things yesterday. Anne forgot her phone, so she can't take any pictures. And I forgot a tarp and my rod holder. And if we're going to be here for 4 days, I kind of like to have my rod holder. Hopefully I can catch us dinner for at least one of those nights. So I'm going to head to the car and grab that stuff. And then go back to camp, cut some firewood for the night while it's still cool. That way if the sun does come out and it's roasting hot, my work is done. So here's Anne, solo in the canoe for her first time, testing it out with my kayak paddle. So after finding such a wonderful spot, we're gonna have bacon and eggs this afternoon. That's gonna be a delicious lunch. Would be made better if I would have remembered to bring some bread for toast. Bacon's done. So we'll pull that out. Oh. Nope, runaway bacon. All right, well, we're not eating that one. I'll put this aside. You want 1 egg or 2? 2? And now I'm cooking mine. With bacon and eggs in the backwoods, very hard to beat. That's gonna be delicious. Look at that. Anne's taking a turn at cutting some firewood. The clouds keep coming in and clearing out and coming in and clearing out. So I took an extra 9x12 tarp that I had and I strung it up down the center between our two hammocks as best I could. Now, on this side, the tarp's not quite wide enough. It doesn't quite go over the edge of my tarp. So I pulled it down very snug in the hopes that the rain will wash down here. Here on Anne's side, it does come over her ridgeline. So the water should run off this tarp onto this one and down to the ground. I pulled the tarp as close to the tree as I could get it so that I could pull these corners down to give us a bit more protection if the rain is coming from this side. I've already tied the other three ends of the hammock, mine and Anne's. This is the last one. All I've got is a little piece of jute twine here, and I'm just wrapping it around, tying a simple knot. I'm going to tie a few of them actually just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Get out of there. Mosquito trying to fly up my nose. Now, what this is going to do, because the hammock straps are outside of the tarp, they're going to get wet if it rains. And the rain will follow down the strap. And it should keep going down the strap and go down. But if it happens to go over the top of the carabiner here and come down the rope, when it hits that jute twine, the jute twine should soak it up and it'll just drip down the end of the line. And that way it won't run down the last little bit and get to the hammock. So the hammock should stay dry. So now we're all ready, and now the sun's coming back out. So we've been cutting firewood for the afternoon, and every time we find branches, Anne's been working on her wall. Her little wall that we had yesterday is now over 6 feet tall in places. And with the fire pit here, sitting with our chairs there, even if the wind picks up crazy tonight like it did last night, we'll be out of the wind. We'll be in front of the fire where it's nice and warm. She did a beautiful job on that wall. Great job, Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Decided to go out and take a little trip in the canoe. And while we're out here, I threw my line out and the island is right there. I tossed my line out stuck it between my legs. I paddled 3 strokes, and I got dinner. We got a double header. Mine was a bit small, but by the time I got mine off the hook, Anne's spit the hook and left. But we just let the wind push us through between the island and shore. And Anne doesn't like to touch fish, but this one's hers. So we now have 3 fish in the boat. So I think that's going to be enough for dinner. So there's our catch for today. I got 2 and got 2. So I guess we'll have to go out again tomorrow to see who gets the tiebreaker. But yeah, we got 2 good sized ones. And then the 2 little ones we had to keep because they swallowed the hook too deep. Looks like we're eating fish for dinner. So Anne's got the first batch of that fish in her plate. And look at the amount of fish I got left that I got to cook. Some of these fillets are
So good.
nice and big. Anybody want a piece of tail? Not a bad haul for our first trip out. Oh, yes, please.
I know, right?
Okay, hold on, I've got to take my insulin.
Okay.
Here's Lucy patiently waiting for her share. And peeled some apart and checked it. Make sure there's no bones in there.
Oh, look at it go.
Okay, we need some for us too. I didn't get my share yet. Is that delicious, Lucy? Well, another day done. We got a lot accomplished today. Some firewood cut. You got your wall. Almost 6 feet tall. And it's working great. There's just a little breeze coming in, but that wall is stopping the breeze completely. And then you caught your first fish. And your second fish. And we ate them both. They were delicious. Yeah, and Lucy got to eat some fish. Oh, but now we're all full. So we're going to sit back and enjoy the fire. Nice quiet evening. And then crawl into the hammocks and hibernate until morning. Because that's not going to be a sleep. After all that fish, that's going to be more of a hibernation. Morning, everyone. Yesterday was amazing. We got quite a bit of work done. And when Anne and I went fishing, she's not used to trolling. She's not used to holding the rod and paddling. And in the front, she doesn't have a whole lot of room. But I had my kayak paddle. So we paddled out just a short ways, and then I got her to put her paddle down, and she cast it out on the right side. And then I picked up my kayak paddle, and I cast it out on the left side and let it go behind me, and I just wedged the rod between my legs. And away we went. So Anne was fishing, and I was fishing and paddling. Worked out fantastic. That canoe glides so well. I love that Swift canoe we bought. It glides so well on the water that with both of us in there, I can paddle it no problem. I was very happy to see that she caught some fish finally, and we were able to eat the fish she caught. Oh, she loved it. That was awesome. Perfect day. Mm. Perfect coffee too. When I got up this morning, there was so much fog. I couldn't even see off the island. Now it's starting to break up there. I can see the other side. It's clearing up quite well. And hopefully the sun comes out. Clouds look like they're breaking up though. We'll have to see. I know a lot of people that, oh, why do you fish northern pike? Why do you fish northern pike? There's too many bones. It's too much of a hassle. They're too slimy. Once they're cleaned properly and cooked, they are fantastic. It's one of my favorite fish. But you can't argue taste. I mean, just because I love it doesn't mean everybody has to. Everybody should, but they don't have to. Well, I'm going to put this away and enjoy my little fire and my coffee. After 2 days of being out here and cutting wood and cleaning fish and setting up camp, sweating like crazy, it's time for a little bit of backwoods glamping. It's shower time. Nice fresh t-shirt, fresh underwear. Oh my God. It's like heaven out here. That felt fantastic. But of course, now that we've had a shower with the cooler lake water, the sun comes out, would have warmed up the bag nicely. Oh well, at least we're clean. But we were out on the canoe earlier and found some dried cattails. I've been playing with it since we got back here because I heard they were good for lighting fire. What I've found is they act as a great coal extender. So I'm going to cut up a little bit of birch bark and place it in this bundle of twigs. Like so. Snap that part off and save it to burn in the fire. Now, if I fluff this up a little, and then hit it with the ferro rod, I may have to hit it a few times. There we go. So it takes a bit of playing, but you can get it to go. I actually got it flame there. Now, if I place it in the bundle, well, that worked. So we had another successful afternoon of fishing. And now for the weekend, the score is 11 fish for Ann, 5 for me. We didn't keep all of them, but some of them were too small. But we got another 3 for today. Gonna be great for supper. So we're having fish for supper again tonight. I melted some butter in the pan. We've got onions, carrots, and peppers in here. Once these are done, I'll set them off to the side. And then I'll add oil to the pan and we'll cook the fish. And that's gonna be dinner. We want to send a big shout out to, we finally actually have the name of the store. It's Wilderness Supply in Thunder Bay. They sent us directly here. It's an amazing spot. We've been doing fantastic fishing. And we've changed our plans. We're going to stay for a couple of extra days. Tomorrow we're going to do a little grocery run, get some ice and a few supplies, and then we're going to stay probably until Thursday. But Wilderness Supply, Thunder Bay, if you happen to be in that area, stop. They're amazing. The service was fantastic. They were very helpful. Fantastic place. Sent us to a fantastic area. It's been great. When we were in the canoe, we found some cattails. I used a dry one earlier to light the fire, but we also took a few that were still brown. We found an old can that was left in the fire pit when we first got here the first day. Now that the fish is cooked, I poured all the oil in the can and I'm soaking the 3 cattails in that oil. We're going to see if we can use them for torches later tonight. That's a little experiment we're running. So once again, dinner's going to be amazing. There's onions, peppers, and carrots, fried in butter. And then I just added the oil on top of the butter in the pan and fried the fish. Oh. Mm-hmm. Definitely delicious. Dinner was delicious. We eat better out here than we do at home.
Mm-hmm.
The cattails are still soaking in the can. And we decided, seeing as it's an experiment, we may as well let them soak overnight. And the can was only about half full once I put all the cattails in there. So we'll give them a good 24 hours and we'll try and light them tomorrow night. Now I think we're going to sit back, relax, enjoy the fire. Probably turn in a little early tonight, get some good rest. So have a good night, everyone. We'll see you in the morning for coffee.